The Money in the Bank pay-per-view is only one day away, emanating from Los Angeles on June 7th, and everybody is wondering who is going to win the men's Money in the Bank and who is going to win the women's Money in the Bank. So in today's video, I'm going to predict both and their future cash-ins. So starting things off, we have the men's Money in the Bank ladder match with LA Knight, Penta, Andrade, Solo Sikoa, El Grande Americano, and Seth Rollins. Now, originally, I still do think that this is a very tough one to predict, and originally I was going with either Seth Rollins or LA Knight. And ultimately I did decide on LA Knight winning, which is probably the fan favourite. However, then I had an epiphany.
Is John Mellencamp. They're the same people, Pat.
Yeah, and I don't like either of them.
So yes, I would have El Grande Americano become Mr. Money in the Bank. I think this would be just hilariously amazing. But it could be seriously cool. The way I would do this would be to have El Grande Americano and Penta be the last two men on the ladder. So whilst El Grande Americano is reaching for the briefcase, Penta rips off the mask of El Grande Americano, revealing his identity to the world. Nobody knows it's Chad Gable. This gives Chad the opportunity to hit Penta with the briefcase in the head and allowing him to become Mr. Money in the Bank. So now, fast forwarding 2 months' time to August 2nd/3rd, we have SummerSlam from New Jersey. Now, I strongly believe that the World Heavyweight Championship match at SummerSlam will be Jey Uso defending the championship against number one contender Seth Rollins. Yes, I don't think that Seth Rollins is going to win Money in the Bank, but I do think that he's going to face Jey Uso, and I do think that the result of that matchup will be Seth Rollins walking out of SummerSlam as the new World Heavyweight Champion. Now, I truly believe that Seth Rollins will hold the championship all the way from SummerSlam to WrestleMania 42, and that's where I predicted in my recent WrestleMania 42 predictions video that Seth Rollins will defend the World Heavyweight Championship against Sami Zayn. And if you've not seen that video, I will link it in the description below, so if you would like to watch that, then it will be there. And so with Sami Zayn being the 2026 Royal Rumble winner, I do think that he will dethrone Seth Rollins at WrestleMania, becoming your new World Heavyweight Champion. Which then perfectly leads us on to the Raw after WrestleMania 42. Now imagine the scene. Sami Zayn is having his big championship celebration in the middle of the ring, winning the World Heavyweight Championship like everyone wanted him to do so long ago, only to be laid out by Seth Rollins, Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker. Now shortly after this, it's time. Chad Gable cashes in on Sami Zayn and he will win the World Heavyweight Championship finally. Now also, this would genuinely be perfect because it almost acts as a revenge to everything that happened between Sami Zayn and Chad Gable post WrestleMania 40, if you remember their feud over the Intercontinental Championship. So Chad can say that the only reason that Sami Zayn beat Gunther at WrestleMania 40 was because of Chad's training and wisdom, yet Sami Zayn got all the glory and Chad had to choose to put on the mask in order to get the opportunities that he deserved. Now, I really do think that Chad Gable should be Mr. Money in the Bank. You have to reward Chad for wrestling 2 matches in the same night with Worlds Collide and Money in the Bank. Yes, that might be a bit contradictory to Stephanie Vaquer, who is doing the same, but Chad's been on the roster for such a long time now, and he's honestly deserved a main event run for years. So now moving on to the Women's Money in the Bank ladder match, we have Alexa Bliss versus Stephanie Vaquer versus Naomi versus Rhea Ripley versus Julia versus Roxanne Perez. Now, it's got to be said that this might be the most stacked Women's Money in the Bank ladder match of all time. The past 2 years have been incredible, with 2 great winners in Io Sky and Tiffany Stratton. So now I want to continue the trend with another great winner. Not that there is a bad winner in this match genuinely, but for me personally, I am going with Roxanne Perez. Now I do realise that a lot of people are wanting Naomi to win, and I understand that. You know, you've got the eventual Naomi versus Jade Cargill versus Bianca Belair triple threat match with either one of them being the champion. But personally, I just think that Roxanne would be a great fit for Women's Money in the Bank right now, especially with the whole situation going on with her and the Judgment Day and Liv Morgan. You could really build into a lot of cool stuff with this, but I do think that Roxanne Perez will be the winner tomorrow night. Now after Money in the Bank, on July 13th, we have the second ever WWE Evolution pay-per-view, which is of course the all-women's historic pay-per-view, and Although we have Stephanie Vaquer losing the Women's Money in the Bank ladder match this month in June, I do think she'll find a way to have that rematch with Io Sky that they had on the Raw after WrestleMania at Evolution for the Women's World Heavyweight Championship. And what's more fitting for a historic pay-per-view like Evolution than to have a Money in the Bank cash-in. So now that Stephanie Vaquer has defeated Io Sky and became the new Women's World Champion, there's a bit of a shock, a bit of an awe within the audience. So within this, what happens next? None other than Roxanne Perez's music hitting and cashing in. And there we have it, folks, closing out Evolution 2 with your new Women's World Heavyweight Champion, Roxanne Perez. Now, I just thought I would include Roxanne Perez's first title defence in here as well, because may as well. This is a bit of a dream match. At SummerSlam for the Women's World Heavyweight Championship, we have a triple threat between Io Sky, Stephanie Vaquer, and the defending, newly crowned champion, Roxanne Perez. So thank you so much everybody for watching. Let me know in the comments below who you want to see win the men's Money in the Bank and the women's Money in the Bank, and let me know what you thought about my predictions too. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.